right, welcome everybody. I appreciate everybody coming out. I know it's obviously an exciting time of year. It's football season, it's getting ready to get started, and it's the best time of the year, in my opinion. The fall, and I think for us, we just finished up basically our first week of camp. Our first practice was last Sunday, and today was our first real scrimmage that we've had. We've had some 11-on-11 interaction throughout the week, but nothing anywhere close to this today. I think when we came into today, we wanted to run 120, 125 plays. I think we ended up with over 140 plays today. So it was a pretty significant scrimmage, very lengthy, close to 3 hours today. A lot of reps, and we need them. I mean, quite frankly, we need as many reps as we can possibly get, and that's what we talked to our guys about prior to coming out here today. There was some good things, some bad things, and then everything in between today. What you would expect for a first scrimmage. I think the one thing that we wanted to see the guys, have high energy, playing hard. I think we saw that. I think the biggest thing for us, we got to eliminate a lot of mistakes, and that's any football team, particularly early in camp. You're going to have some mistakes. You're going to have some false starts, some offsides, things of that nature, some missed assignments. Those things are going to happen. And we had our share of those today as well. So those are things we'll clean up. A lot of great scenarios that we put ourselves in today. We were, playing football, basically. We were scrimmage. We had different scenarios backed up on the -1. We had a bunch of different red zone scenarios. Tapped in all the first, second, third, and fourth downs. We worked on field goal, PAT heavily today. A little bit of kickoff team today, and then also punt team today. Punt team is one thing that we work on every single day. That's the one core special team, that and field goal, PAT. So, but we hit on all that today. We got to play everybody today. Everybody that was in camp today got a snap at least, and so a lot of great things. And so, as we move forward, we got a lot of work to do. Anxious to get back out on the field and go again.
Coach, if you could explain, please, your preferred offensive philosophy, including the kind of sets you might want to run. Yeah. And a second part of the question is how you might have had to alter that given the personnel that you have here and the players you've been able to get.
Well, first of all, we want to be a multiple offense. We want to get in a lot of different formations, have a lot of different personnel groupings, 4 wide, 1 tight end, 3 wide, 2 tight ends, and even 3 tight ends. We want to be very multiple, do a lot of different things within formations, have a lot of motions, adjustments, and those type things, but while at the same time running a very simple offense, meaning we don't have very many running plays. Inside and outside zones, that's our bread and butter. And then off of that is where everything else happens, with all the different formations, all the motions, the shifts, and that keeps the defense honest. At the same time, the ability to run the quarterback. I think we want to at least have that ability to do that. And that's got to be a huge part of our offense. And over the years, I've had guys that don't run very well, but we still are very effective in the running game, running the quarterback. And obviously had guys that can run at quarterback. So our biggest thing is to get the ball in the hands of the playmakers, whoever that may be. And I think we have several playmakers that can make plays. Coming into this thing, I think we didn't have very many tight ends. We've kind of moved some guys around and put them in some tight end scenarios and H-back, on the ball tight ends, those type of things. And so I think we're sitting in pretty good shape with that, with the tight ends. And we're going to be able to utilize all those. We're a no huddle. We can change the tempos, but at the same time, we want to control the game. We want to be able to run the football. And when they know it's going to be run, we still want to be able to run the ball. And, and then take our shots down the field with the throw game. So, multiple offense, but being able to control the game. And I think we got to be able to run the football, and that's what we continue to work on right now is finding ways to run the football effectively.
When you sort of just a broad brush of what you see in terms of your assets, what are some of your strengths?
Yeah.
And what are some of your weaknesses?
Well, I think strength-wise, I think Tutu Atwell's going to be a great player for us. He's going to have a great year this year. He's very dynamic with the ball in his hands. He's extremely fast. He can make a lot of things happen. Dez outside Fitzpatrick, he's going to be really good for us as well. Had a big play today down the sideline, broke a tackle, went about 60. He's a strong guy that can run and catch, and I think those 2 guys are going to be strengths for us. Seth Dawkins really like what he can do on the outside, big body, and not even down the field throws. Like for him, it's into slants and underneath curls, and he's just really good at that with that big body he has. I think our running back room is going to be really good. I think we have a lot of depth. That's probably the deepest position we have is at running back. Guys that are going to be very effective at running back, and we're going to need that, because they're going to get carries, and you're going to get some dings, and they're going to have to, so we're going to have to play some different guys at that position. I think, defensively, I think linebackers. I think linebackers played well today in the scrimmage. I think they'll be good for us. They'll have a good season. We got some good backups. Some of the guys we brought in, Monty Montgomery and T.J. Hull, and so those guys give us some good depth. On top of that, Dorian and C.J. Avery, those guys are solid. I think the weakness really is probably the depth. I mean, when you go from the starters and you go down to the next group, it's a pretty big, significant drop off right now. And we all know in college football, you got to play a lot of guys. Particularly early in the season, you better be playing a lot of guys. Because number one, the weather is going to be warm the first month of the season, and then by the time you get to the last half of the season, your stars are for sure going to be dinged. And so you got to be able to have guys that have already played significant minutes to when they need to play, they're going to be able to sustain a season and help you win football games. So the depth issue right now is going to be a critical factor for us as we move throughout the season.
Coach, the first scrimmage first week, how do you evaluate it? Juwan, Malik, what do you see for us?
Yeah, I think they've both been very, very good. I mean, it's solid. The thing that I've talked about is always come down to decision making with that position, because if you're running a simplified offense, but you have a ton of different formations, a ton of different movement, you have to make your decisions have to be on point in the running game and in the passing game, and it happens just like that. And so we try to put them in scenarios where it's hard on them, it's tough, and then how quickly can they make those decisions, taking care of the football, and then getting the ball in the hands of those playmakers. They've been solid. They've been solid today. I thought we struggled a little bit today from the quarterback position, but it's the first scrimmage. Looking back on all the years, the first scrimmage is always the hardest one, the toughest one, and we'll get better after this scrimmage, I think, obviously. But there's a lot of things we can coach off of, and that's what we want. We want to make it tough on these guys offensively, particularly quarterback. Tough scenarios, tough, blitzes coming in. What are you going to do with the football? But so when the game gets here, that they've already seen those scenarios and they know how to handle them.
How has Evan been in that mix, and did it help him being here, obviously, for spring?
Yeah, a ton. It helped him a ton being here through spring practice, and so and today he made some great plays, but he also had some that wasn't very great. Which I would expect for a true freshman. Have been here. But if he had just got on campus this summer, he'd be way further back than he is right now. And he threw some very pretty balls today, very catchable balls, good balls. Very first pass I think he had was a naked out, hit our over route, went for about 30. I mean, just right on the money. I mean, those are the kind of things he can do, and we got to be able to utilize that with him. But yeah, he's coming along well, and he's going to need to be because that's one place we don't have any depth.
When you have not a lot of depth, and you talk about that, and obviously the freshmen, how important is it for those guys? And obviously a decision on redshirting anybody will be probably down the road, but how do you go about managing those decisions?
Well, we just play right now. It's fair game for everybody. Whoever is going to be making the plays is going to be playing. And with the new rule where you can play 4 games, we don't even worry about it anyway. So we go into the season with like everybody's playing. And then as we get closer to game time, we start finalizing the game plan. Then now okay, here's the starter. Here's who's coming off the bench next. I don't care what year they are or what their eligibility is. We'll play them if they're good enough to play. And then as you get after a couple of games, you figure it out. We'll kind of see where we're at with everything. Usually, those freshmen a little bit more behind, but I would suspect there'll be a few that'll play early for us this year. We'll see.
Offensive front, what was your impression of them in your first scrimmage?
Yeah, offensive line-wise, I think the first group were solid. We still got to get better. We got to get better at play from the center. I think, T.J. McCoy's, he worked with the 2s today, but did some good things, so he'll get opportunities, I think, working more with the 1s. He's going to be a guy that'll be in a mix. Cole can play guard and center, and he worked with center today at the 1, but he can play both, and so we'll probably work him center and guard. I think, that remains to be seen. To me, I feel pretty good right there. I think, Haycraft at tackle and, Beckton and the other tackle, I think they're very solid players. They've got some experience there. They're very solid. I think the center position is well, because our center makes all the calls for us. Our center's going to be, he's basically the quarterback of the offensive line. So he's going to make all the calls. He's got to get them in the right protections and all that. So that's a critical spot for us. And then you got to snap it. That's hard. So a lot of times we overlook the center, what they have to do. But I mean, a shotgun snap's got to be on point every time, and you got to make the calls. Got to snap it on time. I mean, all those things. And so we're continuing to work on that. We'll, find the best match that we can get the best 5 guys on the field, whoever that may be.
Coach, I know it's early, but what signs do you see that suggest the culture has changed?
Well, I mean, I think you can start seeing it midway through the spring, really. Just guys showing up to study hall on time, being where they're supposed to be at. Excuse me, throughout the summer, being at this whatever time their weight group was going to be there on time. We saw that throughout the summer where guys were getting better and better with that. And it's really just accountability. And I think that's probably the biggest thing that you can see where the buy-in goes. When you come into our building, when we have a team meeting, everybody's there. They're ready to go before the meeting starts. We don't have anybody dragging it late, all those kind of things. I mean, that's just a sign of a team, growing up and becoming more accountable. And we're not there yet. We're not fully where we'd like to be, but we're a lot closer than we were, I can tell you that. And it's good to see that. It's good to see how the guys have come around. You wouldn't have to ask me. You could ask our secretaries or Justin, our academic part. They'll tell you the same thing. You can just sense it and see it, how everybody's a lot different than what it was.
And I read where you said that you had to love them up.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what form does that take, and
well, you can't always just cuss somebody out 24/7 every time you see them. I mean, who likes that? Raise your hand. Anybody like that? I mean, you have to show them love. Give them some praise, man. We're all not as bad as what we sometimes we think we are. So loving them up means we're giving them praise. We're building them up. There's 2 different ways you can talk to somebody. We're trying to talk to our guys in a positive way. We're trying to show them, for example, right throughout camp, every day we take the offense and we're showing them, we'll find if it's 8 clips that are great clips, we're going to show them these. This is what we're looking for, guys. So we show them that every day. Here's the clips we're looking for you guys to do. We're not showing them as a unit the clips that we don't like. I mean, it's pretty obvious, we know what those are. Here's what it should look like. So we're showing them that. That's just one example of it. And just trying to build them up and get them a little confidence, and then now if things are not going good, not going the way they should go, then we're going to get it corrected. But you can't always just beat them down all the time. And I think that's kind of the difference.
Coach, since you and your staff came in, is there one particular guy that's like you had to beat him out of the gym, you got to run him out of the weight room? That one guy that's kind of like bought in right off the bat and like just been amazing for you guys?
Well, I think there's been several guys that have done that. It's ironic. We talked about Evan Conley. He just showed up that day in January, but he's not left the building. Like, he's there all the time, which is awesome for a guy. But he didn't know any better. He never, he wasn't here before. He don't know any better. That's just the way he is. I think Malik Cunningham was been that guy. All summer long he's going to throw an extra in the indoor and. Traeger. So there's several guys. Haycraft, he's been phenomenal. He does everything he's supposed to do, and then some, and a little bit extra. So, I think there's a lot of those guys. I think the more we get those kind of guys, then your team starts coming along. You get a lot better with that, and that's part of the culture that we try to create. Is that I want them to come to the building. I want them to want to come to the building all the time. Like when we're not doing anything, you guys come over here. Get some extra work in, watch some extra film, whatever that may be. We want it to be welcoming for them to come over here and have fun. One of the players today told me, he said, Coach, this don't even seem like football. I was like, what does it seem like? He said, it's just fun. And that's what we want. We want that. We want that. Once you're having fun playing this game that we all loved when we were a little kid, and these are in a sense, they're little kids out there trying to play ball. That's what we want. That joy, that excitement that you get, that translates into getting better every single day. And that's kind of where we are right now. I think they're just getting a little sense of that. And I think we'll just, we'll continue to get better. We're by no means going to be, where we want to be. I think that every single day we're going to get better and better and better. And I think hopefully we'll be able to see that, I think as we get on the field.
Coach, the first week of practice, health-wise, how are the guys? I know it looked like Malik was slumping a little bit.
Yeah, Malik, he did. He tweaked his knee this week, didn't go today. He's going to be. We're going to be precautionary with him because like I mentioned, how hard he's been working. He's in great physical shape. He's made a lot of great plays. So he's going to be a guy that we'll take our time. I don't know the timetable when he'll be back. but he'll be back soon, hopefully, and because he's going to be in the mix. You know, he'll certainly be in the mix. He's too much of a dynamic player to be standing on the sideline with me. We think we've all talked about that. You know, between him and Poom and Evan, those three guys, you know, all three have to be ready to play at all times. And as we all know how quickly something can happen to a quarterback, and then the next guy's going to be just as good. So, you know, we'll take him, you know, day by day, and hopefully he'll continue to get better.
Other than Malik?
I think today we had some guys get dinged up. You know, you have 140 snaps, you're going to get some dinged. I think, you know, I hadn't seen the injury report, but I do know that there's guys that were dinged up today. We'll know more about them probably tomorrow. You know, some of the guys got dinged up, came back and still finished at the end. There was others that did not. So we'll get that. But I knew I told Matt Summers, our trainer, that they be ready because after this, there's probably going to be something there. But we needed to be physical today. We talked about it early. We knew the first 2 weeks were going to be a physical camp. Guys are going to get dinged, and then we'll pull back off of them. You know, a couple weeks prior to Notre Dame.
Scott, how on the offensive line, how big can a guy like Mekhi be as a leader with those other guys? And you mentioned Cole, but Robbie Bell played a lot of games as well. Is he kind of in the mix?
Yeah, no, Robbie's been playing right guard for us, did some good things today. You know, Kai is such a physical presence out there. You know, a lot of his stuff is just his leadership is really just by doing it. You know, and us, we know we're gonna have to run behind him. You know, those running backs want to get behind that big body and make some good great yards, which we did today. There's several times we're in the red zone and we scored behind him. You know, but yeah, Robbie's played. Haycraft, I think, has been very, very solid. You know, so but Kai is just a different kind of animal out there. You know, he's got the size that you all want and the strength to be able to push guys around. He should be able to be dominant, quite frankly.
How does Malik figure out how like affect that keep that on?
Yeah, well, you know, right now him and Evan and Pass are getting all the reps, and we're probably going to end up helping Evan, quite frankly, because you know. Before Malik was getting a lot of those Evan reps, you know, so now Evan's going to get a lot, which that'll help him in the long run. Probably end up helping us down the road. And then when Malik comes back, you know, Evan's reps will go down. But I think you know, right now, you know, he's getting a ton of those reps.
Where is Pass making progress? You know, since you first came in.
Yeah, I think just probably confidence, you know, to understand what we're doing and knowing where to go with the football and not being hesitant. I think, you know, decision making's been good, you know, so he's. You know, today he had some good plays, but he also had some plays where we got to get better at. You know, overthrowing some guys at times today. You know, doing the coverage a couple of times. You know, but of course, of that many plays, it's going to happen a little bit. You know, but I think just understanding what we're trying to do offensively, he's got a great grasp on it. Every single day, you can kind of see him, the lights kind of going off on what we're trying to get done. You know, every practice he's probably taking the ball down and taking off for great runs. You know. 30-yard runs, 40-yard runs. I mean, for a big guy, he can run. I think you know that'll surprise the people this year.
Did you have to work harder with his psyche when you first came in? You were trying to build it up.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, obviously we did because he was kind of as down as I've seen, really. But yeah, over the course since we've been here, you know, he's done a great job of coming into the building and just learning what we're doing. I think that confidence that helps build him up, you know, and then he's made some great plays and throughout camp and these last 6 practices. So that confidence that just going to keep coming every day.
Well, talk about the offense. What's your impression on the defensive side of the ball?
Yeah, I mean, defensively, like today, they created some turnovers today. I don't know, if it's maybe 3 or 4 or 5 turnovers. If we go back, I don't know, which that's great. You know, that's what we want to see. They put pressure on the quarterback today. A lot of different ways of doing that for them. You know, they were running around. We got to tackle better. You know, right now I don't think we tackle very well overall as a defense. You know, but I think overall they made a lot of good plays today. You know, there was times that offense drove the ball down the field today, and then the defense knocked them out. I got field goal range. That's the kind of stuff that you like to see. Hey, offenses may drive the ball, but you don't break. You know, don't let them get in that end zone. So I thought that part of it was good. You know, I think overall they're getting better defensively. You know, we still you know have to put more pressure on quarterbacks, take more pressure off our DBs. But our DBs, they did a good job of not giving up balls over the top today, which that's a bonus. That's one thing. I didn't think we did a job early on, but they're doing a lot better job with that, keeping everything in front of them.
Scott, in general terms, not specific to this team, but when you are trying to evaluate quarterbacks, what mental attributes do you look for?
Well, you know, there's so many things that go in there, but quick processors. You know, I think that is key playing quarterback because things happen so fast. You know, people talk about pre-snap reads, but so much of this stuff happens post-snap.
Yeah.
You know, and you got to be able to decipher just like that. And it's not only in the passing game and what we're doing; it's in the run game as well. So, just a quick processor is probably going to be the biggest thing. I think the other thing is probably mental toughness. I think those two things, man. If you're both of those, then you're going to be very, very good. You don't necessarily have to have a strong arm. You know, I think if you can process fast and you can get the ball going and when you need to get it going and you can make plays. But and then you're going to take some shots in this offense. So you have to be tough, physically and mentally, to get back up and go to the next play. Because you know, you're obviously every play is going through that quarterback.
Coach, notice that Gigi Robinson's in the walking boot. Is that precautionary or is that?
Yeah, well, I think he was one of the guys that I think he got rolled on down on the red zone there. Yeah, you put a boot on that thing just so, you know, keep that thing still so, you know, hopefully the swelling doesn't get in there and then he'll be able to get back out. But there's a couple of guys like that. Usually with those, they'll be back in a few days.
What do you think some of the things you'll have to learn as you start to go through an ACC season for the first time?
Man, I mean, I don't know necessarily anything I'm going to need to learn. I think, you know, I already know. I know this league is really, really good. I do know that. I know every week you're going to be playing a team that's well coached. Guys have great players. You know, so I think we already know that going in. I think we got a pretty good grasp on what needs to happen. But the problem is we got 3 weeks before we play our first game. You know, that's the good and bad. The good news is we got 3 weeks to get better. The bad news is we only have 3 weeks to get better. I mean, you know. You feel like, you know, because this is our first scrimmage we've had since the spring, which is February, and you just feel like you'd like to have a lot more of these in order to continue to improve and get better. At some point, we're going to have to play, which in 3 weeks, and then you know, I just hope we're healthy. You know, I hope we have our you know, all our bullets, so to speak. You know, all our players, and so you can give yourself a chance. But I don't know if there's any one particular thing I need to learn throughout. I don't know. I think probably at the end of the season that'd be a good question.
What do you tell the guys about the challenge? Obviously, you're a long shot this year. What are you talking about the building process and trying to get some traction?
Well, we just take it day by day. I don't worry about, you know, building all this and that. I mean, I worry about today. You know, what did we get better today? We'll go watch the film and we'll correct it, and then tomorrow we'll come out and we'll go again. We just try to keep it very, very specific in that particular day. I don't worry. You get overwhelmed, I think. When I think about, you know, the next day or 2 days from now or a week from now, we get overwhelmed. Let's stay in the moment and do the best we can right now. You know, we talk, wherever your feet are, that's where you are. And particularly with 18 and 22-year-olds, man, their mind, there's a lot of stuff going on. So we try to do a great job of just keeping them focused to right now, what can you do to get better? And we preach that every day.
Yes.
Okay.
Coach, to kind of go back, you talked about the guys having confidence,
Yeah.
having fun. Was this something that you observed when you took over the program? You felt that you had to take that approach? And you mentioned like not cussing them out.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, it was different. I mean, it's different. Everybody runs the programs in a different way. I mean, you know, and so the way that was ran before is not the way we run ours. You know, so we were brought in, so we got a job to do. And what we do, this is just how we've always run our program. You know, if you go back and talk to any of our players, you know, the last 6, 7 years, and really you can go back further than that, even before I was the head coach, when we ran the program. And it's enjoyment. You have fun. And every day, that's how you get better, in my opinion, because you want to come back and you want to get to work. If it's drudgery and you don't want to get out of your dorm to come over here, how are you going to get better? And so that's all I know. And so that's how we do it. We've seen improvements out of the guys. You know, they've gotten stronger this summer. They're running better. You know, so now it's just a matter of execution, cleaning some stuff up, you know, being more crisp. I think first scrimmages, I think that's the biggest thing. You know, we were not very crisp. You know, I want it to be like crisp, but that's going to take time. You know, that's going to take time to make everything, you know, hit on all cylinders.
When the change was made last year, Vince Tyre talked about it being more of a matter of effort and talent. And when you were hired, he said that be hunting a bowl game. Are those realistic expectations? Is the talent good enough?
You talking about is a bowl game a realistic expectation? Yes. Well, I don't know. I don't ever really talk about that. I never have. I never talk about wins and losses. I talk about being as good today. How good can we get today? I don't know if we're talented enough to win. I have no idea. I haven't went through a league season yet, the ACC, to see exactly where everybody is. I know everybody's good. We're going to have to play really good football, smart football, disciplined football. We're going to have to play extremely hard to win football games, period. You know, and what that looks like, I don't know.
Do you have any concerns about effort?
No, we'll have 11 guys that will play extremely hard every snap.
How soon do you start, and I say you as far as just the coaching staff, start working on it right now?
Well, I mean, you know, everybody always breaks down the opponents in the spring or summer, so we always have that stuff broken down, but we're not watching them. You know, we're working on ourselves. How much better can we get as a unit, as an offensive unit, defense, special teams? We got to get better within our team before we worry about anybody else. And we don't start working on them really until probably 8 days out.
It's got a weekend of fall camp. Looking back at the staff you put together, how excited are you to have the group that you have and the guys that are working, you know, with your team?
Yeah, I'm really excited with these guys. They're great to work with every day. You know, the egos are left somewhere else. You know, we're all in this thing together. I think, you know, offense and defense and even kicking game, we bring both sides together. It's been fun to see. It's fun to see their interaction, the way they're talking, the way they're communicating as a staff. And then, you know, when we leave the room, everybody's on the same page, and that's what we're going to tell our players. And it's been great, you know. And I think, you know, we'll have some adversity. There's no question about it. And you want to be, you know, you want to have guys on your staff and within your squad, your tight squad here, that everybody's got each other's back, and that's kind of where we are, and that's where we'll be.
You do have a special teams coordinator.
We do.
Which they didn't before, but does everybody kind of pitch in also?
Yeah, you know, Stu Holt kind of oversees it all, but we got guys from both sides of the ball that are going to come in and help, depending on which one it is. You know, if it's punting or punt return, kickoff return, whatever it may be. You know, we have it assigned for different guys. We all meet together, and we all discuss it, put the plan in, and then go teach it.
Which is pretty, especially at least on practice field, pretty quiet, relatively quiet, even kill person out there. To be honest, I would say, is how important has he been to not just in the weight room, but just outside in the culture?
Yeah, no, he's been great. He's been great with our guys, and you know, he really helps the mentality of the football team. I think if you ask any head football coach throughout the country, they're going to tell you the same thing. Those strength guys, they're with the players every day throughout the year. I mean, they're the one group that's with their guys all the time. I think we have different styles of guys that coach. I don't want a bunch of screamers. I don't want everybody to be screamers. You got to have some, right? So we've got a bunch of different styles of coaching. I want everybody to be who they are, and the way we've hired out our staff is on purpose. You know, I think that's just the way we want it, and I want to hire a bunch of guys that are maybe not necessarily like me, right? I mean, I want to have different personalities, but we all have to work together, and it's just a good cohesive group, I think, and but Mike's a huge part of that.
I read where you were described as laid back. What do you think of that description?
I'm probably pretty laid back. I am. Ask Rocco. That's just the way I've always been. I'm extremely competitive. I want to win in everything I do. It doesn't matter what it is. You know, we've been some write-ups about noon hoops and can jam and cornhole and all these games with cards. We can play some cards. I mean, I want to beat you in everything we're going to play. But I am very even keel. I played quarterback since I was 7 years old, and I was taught early age that you have to be even keel to play quarterback. You know, so that was kind of ingrained at me early. So when I started coaching, I was kind of the same way. I don't want, you know, I'll show emotion, but I don't want to get too high or too low. I want our players to be able to look at me and say, man, if things go wrong, he's still pretty cool right there, pretty calm. We're still in this thing. We're not panicking, you know. And then when we're scoring a lot or we're winning big, it'll be the same way.
What about those moments when, quote unquote, you want to encourage more from the players?
Yeah, I mean, I can get after them, you know, if we need to. Like today, you ask Evan Conley. If you had a chance to talk to him, I got on him pretty good a couple of times. Because we tell our players we want to strive for perfection. We're never going to get there. We're never going to be perfect, but my gosh, we want to try to get there. You know, we want to strive for it. And so sometimes when we don't reach that or even get close to that, you know, we have to let them know a little bit.
Speaking of noon hoops, how competitive, and we hear that you have kind of a flair for late game heroics.
Yeah.
You've hit a couple game winning shots.
Yeah, well, if we needed two, I mean, if we're down by one, or if we only need 2 points to win the game, I'm going to shoot the three. You know, because we play two. You know, the 3 pointers are twos for us. We play ones and twos, so I'm going to come down and shoot the shot and try to hit it. And I get mad if somebody shoots a one if we need two. I mean, we got to go for the win.
How competitive are they between the staff?
We're very competitive. It's fun though. You know, we don't take it over the top with anything that we do because, you know, obviously we're all working together. But we're all competitive. We talk junk to each other all the time. And the one thing about it, if you walk in our building, you know, we don't hold back on anybody. We're gonna, if we're thinking something, we're gonna tell you. You know, if somebody looks funny that day with a bad haircut or something, we're probably gonna let them know, you know. So pretty much everything's out in the front, in the room. I don't wanna hold anything back. So we're all that way. We all keep everybody in check. But everybody knows, everybody loves each other down to their staff. So it's nothing ever personal. We're all just looking out for each other and hold each other accountable.
Have you had any chance to talk with Coach Mack to compare situations coming in and able to get any help from him, how to address the situation here with the football program like he needed to do with the basketball?
We've talked a little bit, but not extensively like that. You know, there are some similarities, I think, you know, with him coming in and the way we came in, but nothing specific really. I think, you know, and I look forward to continuing our relationship, you know, throughout. It's tough though, you know, he's so busy in what he's doing in his sport, and then we're obviously very, very busy. We've been out, we've hung out a couple times, 3 or 4 times, but nothing significant. We obviously want to spend more time with them, and you know, we got to find time to do that. All right.